Firestein Field, home of the Pewaukee Pirates. Tonight, Greendale stops by for the fourth game of the 2012 high school football season. Both teams are undefeated, so after tonight, something is going to change. Pewaukee has never beaten Greendale in the last 3 meetings, so it'll be up to them to see if they can change that trend tonight. The Panthers would get things going right off the bat as they would take their opening drive and march 67 yards in 4 plays, as Jake Zawicki would take a handoff up the middle and scamper 48 yards for the Panthers' first score. Kicker Frankie Rakowski would make the kick, making the score 7-0 with 10:33 left in the first quarter. The Pirates would come back and answer quickly on their own as Ryan Stepanovich would take the ensuing kick and race 95 yards untouched all the way to the end zone. Jacob Stern would convert the point after try, and thus the score was tied at 7 with 10:20 left in the first quarter. Greendale would start their next drive from the 14. They would run 4 plays before looking at a 3rd and long from their 27. It was here where another uncharacteristic event would occur as the ball was snapped over quarterback Josh Ringelberg's head. All he could do was track it down on his 6-yard line. After the kick, Pewaukee would be starting from their 39. Would run 5 plays before fumbling the ball in the backfield, of which Greendale's Mike Pelusios would recover on the Panther 17. Greendale couldn't do anything and were forced to punt going 3 and out. Pewaukee couldn't do much better as they were forced to punt after 5 plays. Greendale would now take possession on their 17. 6 plays later, Ringelberg would find Mitchell Breeze down the left sideline for a huge 65-yard scoring strike. Rakowski would make the kick, and Greendale now found themselves on top by a score of 14-7 with 10:11 now left in the second quarter. The Pirates would start their next drive following the kick from their 25. At this point, the Panthers seemed to have things under control as they forced the Pirates to punt going 3 and out. Greendale would line up on their 31 following the kick. They would put together a 12-play drive all the way to the Pirates' 5 before being forced to call on the field goal unit. Rakowski would make the 23-yard try, and Greendale was now up 17-7 with 2:28 left in the first half. Pewaukee quarterback T.J. Watt would now bring his offense back out in the field and start a drive from their 34. It was here where the Pirates may have found some holes as they would move the ball with a lot of ease all the way to the Panthers' 7 in 8 plays. With no timeouts and only 5 seconds left on the clock, they would be forced to settle for a 26-yard field goal by Stern. The kick was good, making the score 17-10 with 5 seconds left in the first half. The clock would expire after the following kick. The Panthers would have to kick first to start the second half. After the kick, Pewaukee would begin their first drive on the 15. It was evident that the Pirates came out with a little different game plan as they started to rip off huge chunks of yardage on the ground. It would only take them 10 plays to reach the end zone as Watt would fool the Panthers by keeping it on a fake handoff and running 14 yards to the end zone. Stern would make the kick, and Pewaukee would tie this game up at 17 with 7:14 left in the third quarter. The Panthers would now have to come back with an answer as they would start their first drive of the second half on their 17. 4 plays later, Ringelberg would be intercepted by Watt, who just jumped up on the line of scrimmage and managed to hang on to the ball somehow. He would return it all the way to the Panther 24 before being tripped up by Ringelberg. With momentum clearly on Pewaukee's side, it would only take them 4 plays as Watt ran the same play as he scored earlier from 6 yards out. Stern would make the kick, and now the Pirates are on top 24-17 with 4:38 left in the third quarter. Greendale didn't seem too rattled, for they would answer that with one of their own scoring strikes as Ringelberg found Breeze again for a 47-yard pass, capping off a 5-play, 65-yard drive. Rakowski would split the uprights, making the score 24 apiece with 2:47 still left in the third quarter. It was at this point that Pewaukee's offense would take over the game. They would put together a time-consuming 14-play, 83-yard scoring drive, of which Watt would finish off with his favorite play from 6 yards out. Stern would make the kick and Pewaukee would regain the lead by a score of 31-24 with 7:46 now left in the game. It was now up to the Panthers offense to see if they could answer. They would start this drive from their 35. They managed to run 4 plays before looking at a 4th and 7 from midfield. On the snap of the ball, Ringelberg would roll to his left and couldn't find anything, so he had to escape, but in the process, the ball would be knocked out of his hands, of which Greendale would recover on their 42. It did matter, however, for it was now the Pirates' ball. There was now only 6:09 left in the game, and Greendale's defense would need to make a stop so that they could get the ball back. Looked like they may have accomplished that, for 5 plays later, they forced the Pirates to line up for a punt as they were looking at a 4th and 8. On the snap of the ball, Watt, who does the punting, would take the ball and run around the left side, easily making the first down and then some, keeping the Pirate drive alive. 2 plays later, the dagger was inserted as running back David Grimscheid would take a handoff up the middle and score from 15 yards out. Stern would convert the point after try, making the score 38-24 with 1:42 left in the game. Greendale, who was now in trouble, would take over and start from their 35. They would run 3 plays, taking the ball into Pirate territory before Zwicky would have the ball knocked out of his hands by Watt after a catch on a screen play. The Pirates would recover, thus ending Greendale's chance of scoring. Pewaukee just needed to take 2 knees to end the game. Greendale would have their 17th conference game winning streak snapped at the hands of Pewaukee by a score of 38-24. In the end, both teams had trouble stopping each other at what they do best. Greendale would hurt the Pirates through the air, while the Pirates would hurt the Panthers on the ground. Greendale will now fall to 3-1, while the Pirates remain undefeated and have the inside track of capturing the conference crown. Greendale will return home next week to entertain the New Berlin Eisenhower Lions for their homecoming. Pewaukee will take to the road and play the Wauwatosa West Trojans. That game will have a significant impact, for if Pewaukee wins, they would be in the driver's seat for the conference championship. If they lose and Greendale beats Wauwatosa in 2 weeks, there could be a 3-way tie. All we can do is wait and see how things play out. After all, that's why they play the game. We'll see you next week in Greendale. Hope to see you then. So long.